we were supposed to write a song to introduce ourselves, and I thought the best way to do that would be to tell a story of mine, because the best way to get to know someone is to hear their stories. So, I was living down in Champaign, the year was '94. I went into the bathroom and I locked the bathroom door. I pulled my pants down, sat right down to do the usual bit. Little did I know I'd have a most unusual sit. Came out firm and healthy like a bouncing baby boy. I felt much lighter, comforted, and filled with special joy. That was it, a simple squeeze, a solitary pump. I stood back up and turned around to see my massive dump. Lay there in the toilet, 'twas a most abnormal sight. Rather than from front to back, it stretched from left to right. With some regret, I bade farewell to my disgusting friend. I pressed the silver plunger, expecting this to end. It wobbled back and forth against the rising water's flow. Surely it should break by now and up the toilet go. It braced itself against the hole and fought the ebbing tide. Soon I knew this poo was something not to be denied. It didn't break, it stayed, it didn't break, it lived. It was the strongest poo I ever saw, the best that ever lived. It didn't break, it stayed, it didn't break, it lived. It was the strongest poo I ever saw. It was the best that ever lived. As the toilet filled again, I stood, my mouth agape. This seemed more like the product of a horse or of an ape. This poo seemed to be made of steel or reinforced concrete. Regardless of material, this poo could not be beat. My roommate in the next room must have thought I was absurd, wondering why I'd shout about an ordinary turd. I opened up the door and called out, "Bill, you must come quick." He said he didn't want to see my tiny shriveled. Eventually he joined me standing over the porcelain tank. It flushed and flushed and flushed again, that poo could not be sank. We knew that this was special, 'twas the poo that wouldn't break. Surviving flood and hurricane and 6.0 earthquake. It didn't break, it stayed, it didn't break, it lived. It was the strongest poo I ever saw, the best that ever lived. It didn't break, it stayed, it didn't break, it lived. It was the strongest poo I ever saw. Whoa. It was the best that ever lived. I know you must be thinking, to which asylum is he assigned? But in the great history of our sweet and dear mankind, no poo was ever stronger, nor fought the final rush of Father Time or Grim Reaper or even the Great Flush. Now go on home, but please remember next time on the throne that when you squirm and shimmy, and you also moan and groan, that what comes out just might be a new lesson for us all, like that magic poo from '94 produced by Mr. Paul. It didn't break, it stayed, it didn't break, it lived. It was the strongest poo I ever saw, the best that ever lived. It didn't break, it stayed, it didn't break, it lived. It was the strongest poo I ever saw. Whoa, 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 whoa. It was the best that never lived.